because he had no opposition. His name was Tyrique Robinson, 20 years old, and one of the youngest individuals to ever win office locally. Today, the Augusta Press has run a story, very disturbing allegations against Tyrique, and I wanted to give him the opportunity to give his side of the story and answer to them. Tyrique, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry that our first interview after the election has to be something like this, but obviously some very bad accusations are being made that you need to answer, and I applaud you for being willing to do that. How are you?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing okay. So basically what we're being told is a lady that has been serving as your mentor for a number of years and invested heavily in your business is accusing you of stealing money from her, not only to run the business, but apparently to make campaign expenditures or spending some of the company money on campaign expenditures. And what do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, the allegations that she has put out there are false. One of the things that I want to, inform people on is sometimes when you mix up with different people and you really don't know them, a lot of times they will manipulate and try to control you. There was a meeting between me, her, and I won't call out the other individual that wants the seat, and she basically told him that to not run because she wanted to give me a chance. Now, I met this person in the beginning of this year, and one of the things that she told me is she said she's going to make me great. And, I took the vision, and I thought that was one of the best things I heard being young, but not realizing it came with preposterous control.
Okay. So how long ago did you meet this lady? And her name is what exactly?
So I won't call her name,
okay.
And it's just, out of respect. But I met this person back in February of this year.
Okay. And has she or has she not helped bankroll your professional endeavors?
So she came to me in regards to she wanted to open up a trucking company, and with my experience in the military with trucking, as well as being the only CDL license that she could find at the time, she wanted my vision, and she basically wanted me to run the company. And that's what I've been doing for the past year. Now, it's been hard keeping drivers and keeping that truck rolling because of breakdowns and, et cetera, et cetera. But in reality, I ran the company all by myself.
Is it a substantial investment? She claims it was $250,000. Is that accurate?
So that is accurate. We started out with $250,000. The truck itself, at the time the economy was inflated, and so we did spend way over what we should have spent on the truck. But with that truck, we found out that it was a lemon, and so we spent a reckless amount of money on repairs, gasoline, drivers, and all that stuff. And so we really didn't make a profit this year, starting out with just one truck.
Okay, she's saying that you used company credit cards to pay for your billboards, which I'm a little curious about. You didn't have any opposition. Why did you buy billboards?
So that was an investment for her. One of the things that I want to clear in the air is she gave me money for my campaign. I never once misused her credit card or the company credit card to go on record of saying that there was a misunderstanding on how I guess the funds were supposed to be used. And so now that the billboard back in September, why all of a sudden now she wants to come out and say that I've been misusing a company credit card and her credit card? I have no clue. And it's just going as far even with the truck that we purchased that she said that I put in my name. Anytime you go and Austin, I think you know this as well. Anytime you go and buy a vehicle, you cannot purchase it in somebody else's name.
No, but you can put it in a company name.
Correct. And so that was what was done. And so we bought it from a third party. We didn't buy it from a dealership. Bought it from a third party, and when the person wrote up the bill of sale, they put my name on it because I was present. It was never my intention on keeping it in my name because it is a company asset. And so,
and things like that can happen. How much did she give you for your campaign, Tyrique?
She gave about $2,000.
I was going to say, because that's the limit that she can give you, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So again, explain the billboards to me. How much were they?
So the billboards were $1,600, and that was the two billboards right there on Peter Road.
Now that's Azalea. Is that one of those light up billboard companies?
Correct.
So they can program it in there. So it's a little different. Back in the old days, you had to spend a lot more money putting the big picture up in the paper and it's very expensive. So much easier to do that. You said that was $1,600, and you did it with the trucking company's credit card. So correct. Okay, and she's saying.
And she was aware of that back in September. That transaction was made, and she was very much aware of it. But now she wants to come out and say that it was unauthorized transaction. I don't know why, but that's what she has done.
But again, I asked the question, since you didn't have to campaign for anybody, why did you do that?
So one of the things that I mentioned this to every person that endorsed me, any person that supported me. I ran this campaign as if I had opposition. One, because I wanted people to know who I was. I didn't want to be one of those politicians that got in the seat just because nobody decided to run against me. I wanted to make sure that I was in the streets, knocking on doors, answering questions, answering forums. No matter what, I wanted to be present and visible.
Okay. And again, you're saying that the allegations this lady's making against you are false, and that
Absolutely.
You're not. Okay. All right. And again, specifically, are you still working together? Do you still have the company?
So we still have the company together. We're in the process of, settling now. Because at the end of the day, we are business partners. This is a private matter that should have never, went this far. But when you have people and you have ties and you scratches people back and stuff, sometimes things like this can get out. And so, I already know why it went this far. But now it's just a matter of making sure that I'm making sure defamation of character is not taking place, and making sure that I'm not being falsely accused of something that I didn't commit.
Okay, so, and I understand you're not wanting to name her, but the Augusta Press names her as businesswoman Melissa Oden. She said that she took you, the godson of a friend of hers, under her wing and financed your transportation business, Dream Transportation. A few months later, Oden said she was tracing down unknown charges on her credit card that came back to you buying the company van, placing it. Well, anyway, the main thing was the $1,600, I guess, for the Azalea Outdoor Billboard Company. And again, that was something that you say you told her about, and she was okay with. Is that what you said?
Correct.
And she denies it. Why all of a sudden is there a falling out here? I mean, what is it for her to gain? You don't have any. I mean, and you're just starting out in life, so I'm not blaming you. You don't have any money. She can't sue you. Why would you make these? I mean, she could sue you, but you couldn't get anything. To what benefit is it for this woman to do this to you?
One of the things that Austin, I told you when I first interviewed up there is I cannot be controlled, and I would not be taken advantage or manipulated. And I believe this. Because one of the things, if you read the article, she stated, she's the reason why I had got this position, because she told the opponent at the time that I was going to run not to run. And so now I believe it's a thing of control and knowing that I cannot be controlled. One thing, I've been honest with you and transparent along this whole race, and I don't want my character to be defamed because of me not being able to be controlled.
Okay. So I'm sitting here listening to this as sitting here reading this. Oden said she advanced Robinson $50,000 to buy a transport van, which he then placed in his own name. Oden says she's still trying to sort that, as well as determine the extent of Robinson's misuse of the cards. Charges include plane tickets and hotel rooms for Robinson and his friends as well. What's that about?
So I don't know if you know this or not, but anytime you go into a hotel, personal, or anything that is done on a credit card can be traced back. That's bottom line. If you go into a hotel, anything like that, if the card is not present, or if you have not sent in a pre-authorization card, you cannot use that card no matter what. And so for her to make that accusation, you have to have some evidence to prove that I even done anything with a hotel or anything like that. And then also with a plane ticket, anytime you purchase anything, no matter what, your name is going to come back to it. And I've asked several times for her to present something to me showing that my name is on it, and she has not done so. And I have text messages as well as emails to prove so.
So did you take a plane trip somewhere?
Absolutely not. No.
So you have not been on an airplane, and she's saying, she may be accusing you of buying airplane tickets for somebody else?
No, sir.
All right. Well, interesting. Okay. So there you have it. I hope you have an attorney involved in all this. If what you're saying
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay. Apparently you made some inquiries last week as to whether or not you should resign this seat. Again, I want to make sure everybody understands no criminal charges have been filed against Tyrique. To the best of my knowledge, no lawsuits seeking repayment of monies or any of that. All we have is the word of this lady, Melissa Oden. And I don't know her. I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm just saying that that's the allegations that appear in the article in the Augusta Press are pretty serious. I mean, in addition, Oden said Robinson used his mother's address. By the way, Susan McCord did a great job on this article. In addition, Oden says Robinson used his mother's address on campaign filings and resides in an apartment on Alexander Drive, which is way far away from the South Augusta District 6 district that you – do you not live on Alexander Drive?
I live at 37. Well, I won't give you my address, but I live right off the back of the road. I've been living there way before my grandfather even got sick. When I came back from the military, I came back home to mom. I know a lot of people say, well, you're 20 years old, you got a son, you need to be on your own. Well, in reality, I'm smart when it comes to budgeting and financing my money. And
so, wait a minute. So you didn't lease an apartment on Alexander?
No, sir.
And you never lived over there?
No,
which, by the way, there's a difference between staying someplace and living someplace. Do you have a friend over there that maybe you hung out with or something?
So I have friends all over Augusta.
Okay.
And when we get together, sometimes we spend out at each other at houses or whatever.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Or, and
so is there somebody that has an apartment over there in Alexander that your former mentor made a mistake?
So I have people that stay on Alexander Drive, and I also have my grandmother that stays on Alexander Drive. And so several people that stays in that area that I'm aware of, and that I go visit and go talk to, and sometimes stay the night.
Okay. And that's apparently where you think she got this information from, that you actually live over that way?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, but your voter registration says off Tobacco Road, right?
Correct. Everything.
And that, technically speaking, even if he did move, technically speaking, his legal residence is where his utilities are registered, his voter registration is registered, and unless he has taken utilities or signed a lease himself, even he could stay over there every night of the week, and that's still not his legal residence. So just making sure everybody understands that. All right. Tyrique, I appreciate you chiming in. I think it's gutsy of you facing these accusations to stand up, but you apparently think that you've been done wrong, and that's what America's all about, innocent until proven guilty.
And one thing about politics, I would tell you this, it has a face on it. And so I knew in getting in this race, I would have to have some tough skin. And so I won't let anybody back me down or let any accusation or allegation back me down. It's just time for me to stand firm and just show that I am innocent. in this, and that's just that, Austin.
Okay, all right. Well, God bless. Appreciate it, Tyrique. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Tyrique Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, giving you his side of the story, and the article. If you are not a paid subscriber to the Augusta Press, you need to be. It's worth reading, and